Hey everyone! So, what if I told you that having the ability to get anything you want was the very thing that ruins your ability to enjoy it? It sounds crazy, right? But today we're going to dive into this fascinating idea, the paradox of plenty, and why having unlimited access can actually limit our happiness. This quote just nails it. It gets right to the heart of the problem. We're all kind of taught that more is better, that success means you can have whatever you want, whenever you want it. But what if that's a total lie? What if the thing we're all chasing is actually a trap for our own joy? So, let's get into what this is called, the luxury paradox. And to really get it, let's use let's be honest, pretty delicious example. Imagine you're eating at a world-class 5-star Michelin restaurant. Okay, so that first time you go, it's an event. It's thrilling, it's so special, it's a memory you're going to keep forever. But what happens if you could afford to go every single night? Think about it. By your 50th meal, that incredible experience has totally lost its magic. It's not a special occasion anymore. It's just Tuesday. The extraordinary becomes routine. And that right there perfectly shows us the core problem. Now, this isn't because you're ungrateful or anything like that. It's not a character flaw. It's literally a feature of how our brains are wired. So let's put on our behavioral economist hats for a second and actually diagnose the science behind why our joy fades away. The culprit has a name: hedonic adaptation. And you have to understand, this isn't a bug in our mental software, it's a feature. Our brain is designed to normalize things, both good and bad, to keep us on an even keel. But when it comes to pleasure, this feature is terrifyingly efficient. It drags any new high right back down to our happiness baseline. It's why you sometimes hear this called the hedonic treadmill. You keep running towards more and more, but psychologically, you're just staying in the same place. Let's look at the chemistry of it. When you experience something new and exciting, like that first amazing meal, your brain gives you a little reward. It releases a feel-good chemical called dopamine. That hit of dopamine, that's the feeling of pleasure, the thrill. But here's the catch. Our brains are absolute suckers for novelty. So, with repetition, that dopamine response gets weaker and weaker and weaker. The brain basically goes, oh, this again, seen it, and it stops giving you that same chemical reward. The pleasure, literally, just fades away. So, if our brains are hardwired to get used to awesome things, how do we fight back? Are we just doomed? No way. The answer is what we can call the scarcity solution. It's all about consciously, strategically reintroducing scarcity into our lives to basically engineer joy and keep our experiences feeling fresh and powerful. Okay, this part is so important to understand. This is not about deprivation. Deprivation is an unwanted circumstance. It's lacking something you need, and it causes misery. Intentional scarcity is a strategic choice. It's about having control, about curating your pleasures to make them better, not because you don't have other options. It's about appreciation. This quote just sums up the whole philosophy perfectly, doesn't it? True wealth, when we think about our life experience, isn't about showing off that you can buy everything. It's about having the wisdom to curate your life so that the things you actually love stay special. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do it? How do we put this into practice? Let's get into a really practical framework for how you can build this into a real-life strategy. This chart basically shows you the math of joy. Look at the bar for constant access. You get this one massive spike of pleasure at the beginning, but then, boom, it crashes down to this boring, low-level plateau. That's the Michelin every night problem. Now look at curated access. Each experience is still a really significant peak. The average enjoyment is way higher, and your total joy over time is so much greater. You're not depriving yourself, you're just playing the long game for maximum happiness. So how do you decide what to curate? You gotta think like an economist. Ask yourself these questions. First, is it a treat, not a need? You don't make water scarce, but maybe you make that fancy coffee scarce. Second, is its value tied to how new and exciting it is? If yes, constant access is just going to kill that value. And finally, can you easily swap it out for something simpler? If you can have a simple home-cooked meal most nights instead of that 5-star one, you've just found a perfect candidate for intentional scarcity. All right, let's bring this all home. Let's talk about a super simple, immediate action plan you can use to start reclaiming your own pleasures, starting like right now. It's really as simple as this. Pick 3. Just 3 luxuries in your life. Could be your favorite takeout spot, a specific streaming service, or a type of online shopping you do. For the next month, Just put them on a self-imposed waiting period. You're not cutting them out forever. You're just making them scarce again. So, I'll just leave you with this question to think about. By choosing to have a little less often, you're actually giving yourself the gift of truly enjoying more over the long run. So what pleasure will you choose to make precious again?